तो 3 देशों की यात्रा के दूसरे चरण में उपराष्ट्रपति एम वेंकैया नायडू आज माल्टा पहुंच चुके हैं और आइए आपको सीधे लिए चलते हैं माल्टा में, जहां उपराष्ट्रपति इस वक्त भारतीय समुदाय को संबोधित कर रहे हैं।
सुश्री सरोज पांडे जी छत्तीसगढ़ से, भारतीय जनता पार्टी से, और श्री राघव लखनपाल लोकसभा में बीजेपी का सदस्य, और श्री प्रसन्न आचार्य जी वरिष्ठ नेता बिजू जनता दल उड़ीसा से और राज्यसभा में पार्टी का नेता भी है। और हमारा प्रतिनिधिमंडल में साथ आए हुए अधिकारीगण, यहाँ का एम्बेसडर और बहनों और भाइयों, मैं बहुत आनंद महसूस कर रहा हूँ। आज शाम को सायं संध्या के शुभ अवसर पर आप सब लोगों से मिलने का सौभाग्य मिला है। ये देश इतना छोटा है मगर इतना सुंदर है, और उनका प्रगति इकोनॉमिक फ्रंट में, टूरिज्म में काफ़ी गणमान्य है। भारत के ओर से आप सबको मेरा शुभकामना है। आई ब्रिंग द वार्मेस्ट ग्रीटिंग्स फ्रॉम इंडिया टू ऑल ऑफ यू. I thank you all for welcoming me and my delegation members with such warmth and affection today evening. I am delighted to visit this beautiful historic city of Valletta. I would like to thank the government of Malta for extending warm hospitality to me and my delegation members. During the visit, I look forward to have fruitful interactions with the President, the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives of Malta, Acting Prime Minister, Leader of the Opposition. I'm going to interact with all of them separately and also together with the delegation also. I will also have an opportunity to address the India-Malta Business Forum during the visit. Sisters and brothers, in this distinguished gathering, I'm told some of you are professionals, researchers, students, businessmen. Some of you may have come to this country decades ago, I'm told. कुछ लोग सिंध से भी आए उस समय. Some of you have come in the recent years. I'm also pleased that you have integrated into the Maltese society and made valuable contribution in sectors like pharmaceutical, information technology, and healthcare and tourism service industry. It is not surprising the vast and growing Indian diaspora is doing well everywhere, because I always feel that it's my conviction. The Indian land, the soil, the water, the air has something special in it. Every section of the Indian population, irrespective of their profession, they have some talent or other hidden. And if a proper opportunity is given, they will excel. That is proving to be real now. In the entire world, wherever Indian community has gone, they have prospered, they have integrated with their respective societies. They also brought name and fame to their motherland, India, and also they are becoming economically strong, and they are also doing something back home to their respective country. It is not surprising that within each one of us, that invisible common thread of essential Indianness is there. For us, the whole world is actually a large family. आप सबको मालूम है, हमारा विचारधारा, हमारा सोच, हमारा philosophy, share and care is the core of Indian philosophy. सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु, वसुधैक कुटुंबम. The entire world, universe is one family. That is the Indian philosophy. If you look at the history, after knowing how many people, how many countries came here, tried to occupy this, ruled here, and also different parts of the globe, I really feel proud that we have a heritage, India. In spite of being called as Vishwaguru once upon a time, we never attacked any country, any time. With all the knowledge, with all the wealth, even before the invasions, Indian GDP was around 17 to 20% of the world GDP. But still, we never thought of occupying anybody because we don't believe in colonial rule. We wanted to live in harmony with all. I'm happy that the geographical boundaries do not limit us, nor do the linguistic and cultural differences. We learn and appreciate good ideas irrespective of whether they originate from. Let noble thoughts come to us from all sides. This is what our ancient sages have said. I'm happy to note Indian community here enjoys reputation of being peace-loving and able to assimilate into local environment. You are making contribution in the socio-economic development of Malta by way of investments, knowledge transfer, philanthropic engagements, and catalyzing demand for Indian goods in their countries of settlement wherever Indian community is there. Sisters and brothers, I feel proud that I represent India that is at the cusp of transformative movement. India is on the rise. The entire world is looking towards India. You will be happy to know about the growth story of India. I'm happy to inform you that India is in the midst of unprecedented economic and social transformation. India's economy is growing at a steady pace, and systematic governance reforms are creating more inclusive society. The Prime Minister has given a call for reform, perform, and transform. Transformation of the nation and making everybody to feel that they are part of the development story of the country. That is aiming at inclusive growth. He has taken a lot of initiatives. Some of you are maybe aware also, India has climbed 30 places in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index year, and IMF, International Monetary Fund, forecast that India will grow at more than 7% in 2018 and 19, ahead of other major economies. The number of economic reforms have been undertaken by Indian government, including digitization of the economy, financial inclusion, tax reforms like goods and service tax. More than 326 million persons have opened bank accounts in the last 4 years, marking financial inclusion a reality. Tax base have been widened and tax compliance have increased. There is an increase in the number of income taxpayers. Once there is an increase in the number of taxpayers, the tax rates will come down. The bank interest rates have come down. A number of people who are willing to pay tax, that number also has increased because the goods and service tax, on the face of it, it may be appearing to be complicated. But once it is through, it is going to bring a revolutionary transformation in the taxation system. And the entire world is closely watching. I was in Serbia. The Serbian president was inquiring about the progress made. And he wanted his ministers also to study the GST progress. Even the efforts to unearth the black money, on the face of it, you might not have achieved the success that you aimed at. But at the end of the day, we are moving towards a formal economy. For information, when this proposal for financial inclusion and opening of bank accounts came, I was in the ministry. The Prime Minister said we must open bank accounts. So I said, being a senior, yes, we'll complete it in our tenure, 5 years. Prime Minister said 5 years. I said, sir, a thing which could not be done in 58 years it's going to be done in 5 years, it's good. He said, no, it should be done in 15 to 16 months. Prime Minister is Prime Minister. Nobody did say anything. But I'm very happy to tell you, as I told you just now, 326 million bank accounts have been opened by the same people, by the same bank employees. No OT. Everybody has done their duty. OT means overtime allowance. Was not there, but everybody has done their duty, and this many number of bank accounts were opened. And then, my dear sisters and brothers, when bank accounts opened, some people were skeptical. अरे पैसा नहीं है तो बैंक खाता खोलने में फायदा क्या है? उन लोगों को 2016 नवंबर 10 को बैंक अकाउंट कितना महत्व होता है याद आया। शाम को प्रधानमंत्री का राष्ट्रीय उद्बोधन सुनने के बाद लोग दूसरे लोगों से पूछने लगे, अपना ड्राइवर से, अपना कुक से, अरे भाई आपके पास बैंक अकाउंट है ना, कुछ समय के लिए मैं पैसा उसमें रख सकता हूँ क्या? And the result is the entire money has come back to the banks. Some people are objecting to that also. Let the debate go on. We are a democracy. We believe in discussion, debate and decision. So there is nothing wrong in opposing also. But you will come to know of it once the process is fully completed and the Reserve Bank is able to tell us how much is white and how much is black. What is white? Money paid with tax is white. Hidden is black, simple. It's not in color. It's in nature. But people are saying, so पैसा पूरा वापस आया सर. Yes, जो पैसा बेडरूम में, बाथरूम में पिल्लों को नीचे था, पिल्ले के नीचे था, वो बैंक में पहुंच गया. बैंक में पहुंच गया पिता के साथ और पति के साथ बैंक में पहुंच गया. उसमें कौन सी पैसा है, कहाँ से आया, कितना टैक्स पेड है, टैक्स नहीं पेड है, अभी रिजर्व बैंक और फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री का काम है. वो मेरे ख्याल से जल्द वो काम पूरा करेंगे लोग, फिर बाद में मालूम होगा. It is one of the steps in the direction of elimination of the black money. And a lot of other measures are taken, toughest measures. And they are painful also. But the government's point of view is temporary pain for long-term gain. Temporary pain for long-term gain. Even if you have some problem also, and you take injection and you take operation and you have chemotherapy for cancer, chemotherapy, there will be hair fall. People will say, sir, there will be hair fall. Yes, they have a choice whether they want to have a hair fall or their own fall afterwards. So the temporary pain for long-term gain, these are all processes, these are all reforms. I'm happy to inform you, my dear friends, by and large, people of India are welcoming reforms. Reforms initially, it will affect some people. And you have to stand in queue for your own money, to draw money from the bank. That was a problem. So all these efforts are being made to unearth the black money, which will really improve the economy, image of the country, and also invite the investors to come and invest here in our country. In addition to that, as I told you, the government also has gone for ease of doing business. Earlier it was red tape. That's what people used to complain. Now it is red carpet. Prime Minister said, whoever wants to invest, you welcome him. Every government, every state, irrespective of political party, they are all holding investors meet, global summits. Chief ministers are going around because they want investment. FDI is allowed now, 100% in many sectors. And also we have a PPP model, public-private partnership. We also have SPV, special purpose vehicle, rather than going through the normal other hassles. All these things, as I was telling you, I was minister for some time in urban development. When we started this, launched this smart city project, a lot of ambassadors came one after another to me and said, sir, we want to invest in India. Smart cities, Amrut cities, national highway network, and also housing for all. Housing for all is a massive program taken up by the government where the interest rates have been reduced. And also metro rail expansion. Metro is the passion of the season. Every city wants to have a metro. So a lot of changes are happening. But you are all aware that India is a huge country. with a 130 crore population. 130 crore population, and see the population of this country. It's equivalent to my city, my town, not district even. But still this country also is growing because they are working hard. And also they also have gone for reforms. So India, it will take time. And then I can tell you that your motherland is progressing very well. Today I was just going through the infrastructure. 9,829 kilometers of national highway were constructed during last 1 year. Record. You are all aware this national highway connectivity program has been started by late Sriman Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Unfortunately, who has expired recently. He brought that connectivity revolution in the country. Air connectivity, rail connectivity, highway connectivity, rural connectivity, tele connectivity, television connectivity, port connectivity, all connectivity brought in the country. And that has now is really picking up. And then that's moving forward. The road network has changed the face of India. And also the telecom network also. Telecom, now you have more than 120 crore cell phones in India. That's the television channels also. Earlier, during my earlier days, when I became MLA, I went to Singapore. I saw a number of channels. I felt happy and sad. Sad, in India we have only one channel. Doordarshan, dur se darshan karna, black and white dekhna. At that time. Now today, you have more than 1,000 channels. You have making news, breaking news, good news, bad news. नहीं तो खुद उनका news भी चलाते. इतना freedom है. So a lot of activity, lot of reforms have yielded, and then country is moving forward. The government has come out with Make in India, Skill India, Digital India, and Clean India. The Swachh Bharat campaign has picked up, and people are voluntarily joining that program. Everybody is now aware what is happening and all. This is also catching up. India is now there's a new language, that is, people are talking of startup, stand-up, incubation, innovation, all new ideas. I remember stand-up was when we used to go late to school, teacher used to say stand up on the bench. Now stand up on your own feet. Banks have been mandated to give loans, especially to women and to the weaker sections, and also follow a transparent method. The government also is now trying to reach out to the people, whatever due, by bringing digital transformation. Online, you need not stand in line in future. You apply online, you get reply. Otherwise deemed to have been approved. Then 250,000 villages are going to be connected with optic fiber line. The work is on, moving on very fast. So all these things are bringing a lot of activity in the country, and country is moving forward. India is creating an enabling ecosystem that will spur growth, skill youth, and foster entrepreneurship in India. Today is veritable land of opportunity for those who want to connect, innovate, trade, and invest. India is the best destination. India is contributing and witnessing the onset of an information technology. IT, in our country, IT is the beauty now, and people are making it duty so that the country can become mighty. You go to states, United States, Silicon Valley, every second person in the IT sector will be from India. That's the greatness. Even multinational IT companies are headed by Indians. That is a growth story. Microsoft, Mr. Nadella and Satya. Like that, so many examples. Indira Nooyi, Sundar Pichai, so many people. They are heading international organizations. See, healthcare is another area. I remember when I was member of parliament or member of assembly earlier, any patient with kidney problem or liver problem or heart problem used to go to America or used to go to England and other places. And kidney transplantation was very costly. Liver transplantation, 70 lakh rupees. Now, people from Africa, people from Bangladesh, people from other countries, Arab countries are coming to India for liver transplantation. It has become cheaper, from 70 lakhs to 17, 20 lakhs. So that sort of, India is becoming a health destination. The Largest and most ambitious healthcare program has been launched by the Prime Minister, Ayushman Bharat, National Health Protection Mission, announced in the Union Budget. The Prime Minister wants to cover 100 million families in the coming days. And also, we are fortunate in India, we have always have sun, bright sun. When I first time went to England, the driver told me, "Sir, good morning." I said, "Good morning." "Sir, today is a sunny day." I said, "Sunny day? What is sunny day? Your son's birthday or what?" He said, "No, sir, sunny day. Sun is bright." I said, "Poor fellow, in India, 365 days are sunny days." But we never utilize the solar. And today, 175 gigawatts of renewable energy, the goal we have set, and India, along with France, have started the Solar Alliance also, and 121 countries have already joined it. And even in yoga, the Prime Minister has taken lead, and more than 172 countries. You were there in Serbia yesterday. The President was telling me proudly that people are fond of yoga. Last 2 months back, I was in Latin America. I was moving in Peru streets. I saw a number of places, yoga centers. So the Indian art, age-old art of yoga and Ayurveda are becoming popular across the globe. So there are a lot of opportunities. We are a young nation of 800 million strong youth. 65% of our population is below 35 years. We are not an aging nation. So, my dear sisters and brothers, you represent India in Malta and Malta in India. And your role in both connecting and developing our ties is very important. Your presence in Malta from different parts of India helps in creating awareness about the rich cultural diversity of India and taking message of Indian music, art, dance, and other heritage like yoga and Ayurveda, as I told you, to our Maltese friends. A research in India is awaiting you. We have taken several steps towards eliminating barriers of your connect with India. You are also taking, I hope you are also taking advantage of the e-visa scheme India launched in 2015. We have further liberalized last year for business, tourism, and health purpose. To facilitate easy stay of foreign citizens of Indian origin in India, we are offering OCI cards also. I would encourage you to join the scheme and enjoy the facilities and strengthen our bonds between the country of your origin and country of your ancestors. Your country is Maltese, you have to follow Maltian rules, regulations, customs, and systems. You have to be a true citizen. At the same time, do not forget your roots, your culture, your heritage, and remember your motherland. This is my advice to all of you. In order to engage with our diaspora and to bring their knowledge, expertise, and skills, a common platform, we create a new facility, Pravasa Bharatiya Kendra in Delhi, as one-stop resource center for our diaspora. You must visit whenever you come to India. Our government also runs a special program, Know India program, to bring our diaspora youth together and expose them to India. The government and people of India are thus proud of your achievements. The decision to open a resident Indian High Commission in Malta has been taken with the desire to connect with you all. It has been a pleasure and privilege for me to connect with you today. Each one of you, member of the Indian diaspora, have made us proud because your accomplishments, your acceptance within this country of your adoption, and your well-recognized contribution and development of society which you have adopted. You are all the face of India in Malta, exemplifying to the people you interact with them in the mind and heart of Bharat. You are inheritors of a universal vision India has been expounding since times immemorial. We are the valuable human resource for India, bringing in new knowledge, skills, and attitudes and accelerate India's growth. I thank you all once again for being here today and welcoming me with so much warmth. I personally feel very happy to meet you all who have made a mark here in the life of Malta, and I convey my best wishes to all of you. God bless you all, and I wish you all best in your endeavors to make Malta and India come closer, grow together, and share a prosperous future. Size is not important. growth is more important. That way you can connect with India in a better manner. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
तो माल्टा की राजधानी वलेटा में भारतीय समुदाय के कार्यक्रम को संबोधित करते हुए उपराष्ट्रपति एम वेंकैया नायडू ने कहा कि भारत एक शांति प्रिय देश रहा है और आज पूरी दुनिया भारत की ओर आशा भरी नज़रों से देख रही है। भारत सरकार की ओर से उठाए गए कई कदमों की उन्होंने जानकारी दी। उन्होंने कहा कि कर सुधार, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस और वित्तीय समावेशन जैसे कई कार्यक्रमों की वजह से भारत संभावनाओं से भरा हुआ देश है और आज पूरी दुनिया भारत को एक आशा भरी नज़रों से देख रही है। उन्होंने नोटबंदी के अभियान को पूरी तरह से सफल बताया। उन्होंने कहा कि नोटबंदी के बाद छिपा हुआ धन बैंकों में पहुंचा है और ये काले धन को उजागर करने की दिशा में एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम था जो देश की जनता को दीर्घकालीन फायदा देगा। और इसके अलावा उन्होंने जो भारतीय समुदाय वहाँ पर मौजूद है उससे अपनी मातृभूमि, अपनी मातृभाषा से जुड़े रहने की हिदायत भी दी और भारतीय और भारत की देश की ओर से उन्होंने तमाम लोगों को शुभकामनाएं भी दी। तो ये हमारी खास पेशकश थी। फिलहाल हमें इजाज़त दीजिए। नमस्कार।